Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 21st episode of Unboxing AI by CARPL. So my name is Dr. Vasant. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of CARPL. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to start with a teaser of the company and the AI solution whose CEO I'm going to meet today. Let's start with the video explaining the company. Then we'll jump on to the session after that.
Heart disease accounts for 1 out of every 6 deaths globally. With an ever-growing need for efficient patient care, CASIS develops solutions for cardiovascular image analysis. Our mission is to take the workload away from physicians so they can focus on their patients. We at CASIS offer a set of intuitive, powerful solutions designed by physicians for physicians. Based in the heart of Burgundy, in France, CASIS emerged from the CHU of Dijon. QIR Suit is the result of 20 years of clinical research, combined with the latest artificial intelligence technology. QIR Suit offers analysis solutions for MRI, CT scan, 4D flow, and small animals. A clean, ergonomic interface appreciated for its ease of use. Fast and accurate algorithm with anatomical guarantees. A vendor-neutral solution supporting main packs and constructors, integrated in the physician's workflow. Available in 6 different languages, we aim to serve every patient across the world. CASIS is an international medtech company composed of multidisciplinary collaborators with expertise in artificial intelligence, image analysis, clinical applications. Endorsed by an international scientific committee, our solutions are developed in collaboration with world-renowned research centers and hospitals. We at CASIS are proud to be part of the fight against heart disease. Visit our website or contact us for more information. CASIS puts you 3 clicks away from your patient diagnosis.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 21st episode of Unboxing AI webinar by CARPL. Today, we are happy and proud to have Dr. Jean-Joseph Christophe. He is probably the most educated or well-learned CEO we have ever met. He's a dual PhD. He has experiences in cardiovascular hemodynamic study as well as AI applied in energy industry. In fact, the interesting information is he has worked as part of the team which developed Mogo, the first ever neural network to beat a non-professional champion in the game Pro Go. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Jean-Joseph. Do you want to talk about your company and introduce your product? What do you do?
Hello, and thank you very much for this invitation. So yes, we are CASIS. We are a French company based in Burgundy, where one of the most famous thing, of course, is wine, but not only wine. We also have medical imaging software. And we come from a project from the Dijon University Hospital on cardiac MR. So our aim is to develop and to put on the market solution to ease the clinical decision in cardiology.
You want to introduce the team? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I thank you very much for how you have introduced me. That was very, very nice of you. I'm going to introduce the other members of the team. So Thomas de Cancel is the CTO of the company. He worked on way before the creation of the company on the first version of our solution. Our solution is called QIR, and QIR is also a cocktail from Burgundy. That's why it's called like that. And it's for quantified imaging results. Then we have Guillaume Lenormand, who he got 2 expertise. So one in biophysics as he has been a researcher in Harvard University, and one in business development. And we are an international company, so he's based in Seattle. Then we have Alain Lalande, who is the inventor of the project. He's a biophysicist in the Dijon University Hospital. And lastly, we have Nathan Chin, who is the VP of sales in the company, and who graduated from Kellogg's Northwestern University, and got experience in business development in the healthcare industry, in particular with Siemens, Boston Scientific, and Johnson & Johnson. We also have the support from an international scientific board, as you can see here, with physicians all around the world.
Okay. And, what do you build? What are your products?
So I mentioned the name of our suite, so QIR Suite. We have the original software with focused on cardiovascular MRI, which is used mostly to characterize lesion on the heart failure as well, proximal vessel genetic pathologies. Then we have a solution for 4D flow MRI, and to characterize hemodynamics, and for CT. And as you can see here, our solution are CE marked, FDA approved, TMDA for Japan, TFDA for Taiwan, and ANVISA for Brazil.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing your company and product. And we are CARPL. I think more people have joined now. For many of you who are probably joining this session for the first time, CARPL is an enterprise AI platform. We are probably the only one AI discovery, validation, deployment, and monitoring platform that's available today. We are the largest radiology AI marketplace with more than 130 applications. And we are being deployed in 5 different geographies, including the US, Brazil, India, Australia, and Singapore. Welcome to all. In fact, I've already got one question. Somebody is asking an interesting question. Why do you even need to do cardiac MR? So, there are so many investigations that are available for heart. There is echo, there is CT. Why do you need to do cardiac MR? Probably, I would put on my radiology lens, and I will come to you for your view on that. I think each of these modalities have their own advantages. Echo is the first line investigation for cardiac function, I would say. And whereas CT is very good at looking at the blood vessels, how much blood is flowing in, if there is a blockage, that's very good at it. But cardiac MR is the gold standard for tissue characterization, right? What is the myocardium like? It's probably the most important application is to differentiate between dead and live tissue, to make it simple. Ischemic and non-ischemic pathologies of myocardium. And it's also really good at finding out inflammatory conditions of cardiac, especially in the post-COVID era. What is your take on that, Dr. Jean? The use of cardiac MR as a modality?
Yeah, I think you have already explained most of the advantages of cardiac MR. The point of cardiac MR is that you can cover all the different aspects that you need in order to have a good understanding of the condition of the patient. Meaning, as the heart is an organ in motion, you need to characterize the function of the heart. And cardiac MR is good at that, it's providing a very good temporal resolution. Then you need to characterize the tissue for the different types of lesions. Cardiac MR is very suitable for that as well. And also, you need to have a good understanding of the perfusion. Cardiac MR is also quite good at that. Lastly, also to characterize blood flow, the hemodynamic, which can be done with a 4D flow.
So interesting. You put it very beautifully, Dr. Jean. In fact, what you are saying is cardiac MR is probably the only modality which can help to look at function, flow, strain, and as well as quantitative perfusion, right? So many things can be done using a single modality. Why do we need AI for reading cardiac MR? There are so many other scans that radiologists read without AI. But I have always seen that for cardiac MR, radiologists use some form of tools to quantify it or measure things. Why is the case so different with cardiac MR? Why can't you do it just like other scans?
So a typical cardiac MR examination, it can be up to 3,000 images. Those images, the advantage of the cardiac MR, the fact that we can cover everything on the heart, is also its drawbacks, because it means you have a lot of information, which is split. The images are split in group of images, that sequences. So for instance, if you want to characterize the function of the heart, you will use the cine MRI sequence. If you want to characterize some lesions, you are going to use sequences such as DMRI or T1 mapping or T2 mapping. If you want to have information on the perfusion in the heart, you are going to use the first pass perfusion sequence. So there is many sequences, and for all the sequences, you will need quantification. And so the first step, you receive the images, you have to sort those images. So it's not just about sending the images to the proper sequence. You need also to have the orientation of the image. If you look at T1 mapping, you will need to separate image acquired before, the injection of the contrast product and after. For perfusion imaging, it can be for rest images and stress images. So, and you have long axis, small axis, you have to sort all that. Just that takes a lot of time for the physician. Then you need to characterize the area of interest. So for that, you need to detect the proper areas. That also takes time. You said that it's thousands of images. And then you have the quantification. And quantification, it's over several images. So reconstruct the volume around several images is quite complex. If you need to add to that equation that you need to solve, it's even more complex. So that's why you need proper algorithm to do that. For a long time, used algorithm was like usual algorithm, but they are not so efficient. And the first AI that was put in the market, it was in 2016, CARPL.ai from arteries. It is things. So from that, AI is more precise and it's faster. So it allows the physician to automatize almost everything in cardiac MR.
What you are saying, without these tools, there are so many measurements that radiologists need to do on the cardiac MR. That's not possible. Roughly, how many measurements that your solution do on a single study?
Around 200.
Wow, 200. That's too much, you know. And also, I think the audience might have missed this point. The first ever radiology AI solution to have received FDA approval was a cardiac MR solution. That's by
Yes.
a company called Artrace. It's called CardioDL. Today,
Yeah.
we have 900 plus radiology FDA AI approved solutions. Probably the cardiac MR AI set up the path. Now it's kind of exploded. Coming to the solution, probably you have several good competitors in the same space. Who do you think as your strongest competitor? What do you think are your strengths? Probably, how do you think are better than your competitor there today available?
You mean in the field of cardiac MR?
Cardiac MR AI, yes.
Cardiac MR AI. You mean aside from CASIS?
Yeah. Apart from cases, who else is there? Who is doing?
There is
who's
many
things that you
companies,
do?
but I would say you have named one, arteries. Let's say the main companies are Circle CVI, Neosoft, and Medis.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Those are
Is
the
there anything?
company we see. There is others, of course, but they are the main companies.
Is there anything that you think you have as a strength against these competitors? Anything that you do differently from them?
I would say that I am thankful for those companies because they have opened the way to cardiac MR software. And of course, there is some specificities with CASIS. So one thing is that when we were created, it was the year of the first FDA-approved CARDIO-DL algorithm. And we quickly realized that there were some issue with DL applied to deep learning applied to cardiac MR, as it's difficult to detect properly some areas of the heart. So we have developed a second layer of deep learning that we call anatomical guarantee. And thanks to this second layer of deep learning, we reduce the number of error to 65% to 1.25%. Another example I'm going to give, if you look at delayed and MRI, in most software, they will provide a generic algorithm to detect pathological areas. In our case, of course, we have this kind of algorithm, but we have developed also algorithm dedicated to myocardial infarction with the complete characterization of the different pathological areas. Then we are currently, we already have very good results with development of the first AI algorithm to reconstruct at all time steps, and it's also vendor neutral, the aorta and blood flow from 4D flow MRI. And lastly, I mentioned the fact that it's so difficult to sort all the images and it's so complex. We have validated the first vendor neutral AI algorithm to sort automatically all the images in cardiac MR through more than 100 different types of images.
Okay, that's good to know. One thing I always wondered, Dr. Jain, is that the equipment manufacturers, the OEM companies, the Siemens, GE, and Philips, they own the scan, right? And literally they own the scan. The scans are performed on them. Why can't they build, applications that can do these things, either on the equipment or on the console that comes with it? Why do we need a standalone application like cases or arteries or circle CVI? Why is that?
First, I would like to start with how big companies work. Big companies, of course, they have more capacity in terms of, financial capacity than startup. However, because they are big, they are slow to move. So they need to focus. They cannot easily, move to right and left. And the main focus on of manufacturers in medical imaging are the hardware. Due to the inertia, the administrative inertia of those companies, it's difficult for them to swiftly adapt in terms of software. And what you can see, for instance, is GE Healthcare. They used to have their own software for cardiac MR, and they have stopped the development of this software to work with third-party companies like CASIS. Even a company like Siemens, they have their own software. They have developed a marketplace, and they offer third-party solution on their marketplace.
Can you say who do they work with?
You mean Siemens?
Yeah.
For instance, they are working with CASIS.
Okay, good to know. So you are based out of France, Jean, and we work with several AI companies.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me, I was a little bit. I apologize. I missed your. I did not answer properly to your former question. Sorry for that. Just to give an example of to answer completely to your former question. Aside from which third-party software they have on their marketplace, if we give the example of Siemens, even for their own software, they are developing it with a Circle CVI.
Okay. You mean to say that Siemens have their own marketplace? On that marketplace you are listed?
Even if they have their own software,
yes, they also
the marketplace is for third-party software. But
Got
even
it.
for their own software, they are working with a company dedicated to cardiac MR software.
Okay, got it. Coming back to the question, the French connection. So we have so many AI partners that are out of France, Therapixel, Gleamer, Azimed, Avicenna, to name a few. What is there in French soil that kind of sows so many seeds for innovation? What is that the government does differently?
That's very interesting question. I'm not sure I can properly answer to this question. Fun fact is that you can find many persons who are coming to France to study, for instance, foreigners who come to France, and they are going to create their own company of software in medical imaging in France. I can easily give you a name of at least 4 such companies. One thing is we have a kind of strong cultures in terms of mathematics. I myself got a PhD in mathematics, and in my university, I don't know if it's still the case, but they used to have the highest concentration of mathematicians in the world. And when you come from mathematics, of course, you can easily go to images. So we have strong companies, small companies in the field of motion pictures, for instance, or animation, or in the field of CGI. It's not something well known, but in many Hollywood movies, the CGI are developed by French small companies. In video games also, during the Olympics, many people discovered that Assassin's Creed is a French game. So if we stick to images, we arrive to medical images. And that might explain why also we have strong support, governmental support, not specific to medical images, but for innovation.
If I'm not wrong, the first ever supercomputer was built by the French government. Is that correct statement? The first ever supercomputer.
We had a computer built in the 40s, so almost 80 years ago. And we had strong supercomputers also at the end of the 90s. We were quite strong at the time. In France, there were a French medical imaging company for the hardware as well, but it was acquired by GE Healthcare. So that's why also in EU, the headquarters of GE Healthcare in EU is in France.
Wow, good to know. And given the way the ecosystem, the AI is developing so fast, every day is a new day. And in fact, no webinar, no conversation, is complete without talking about the buzzwords, the generative AI, foundational models, vision language models. Many of the AI companies are already working on the foundational strategies. I would want to know your thoughts on that. Before that, maybe, just to simplify these concepts to some of the audience, the foundational models are those models which are built on large number of data for a very generic purpose that can be fine-tuned for specific reasons with a small amount of fine-tuning data, whereas generative AI is the one which can create new content. We see a lot of AI companies using generative AI to generate synthetic data for training. And vision language models are the multimodal models which take in not only image, but text and other forms of input to give predictions. Are you working on any of these models? Is there any strategy that you're looking at as a company?
I thank you for your question, and it's going to give me the opportunity to answer to the question from the audience, from Dr. Amit Kumar as well, that it's quite more or less related.
Yes.
So first of all, if we focused on the LLM type of deep learning algorithm, one, it's based on transformer, and one big advantage of those models in medical images is that it's very suitable for multimodality training. And the physician in cardiology, when they when they establish the clinical decision, it's not based on one modality, but on several modalities. And I think it's the future to have a multimodalities algorithm. So on that point, it's very suitable. However, it's still quite tricky, and we observe a kind of mistake called hallucination. And the current decision is to have a model which are dedicated to radiology. Like, for instance, we have OpenAI. They have announced last month that they are going to develop a ChatGPT radiology. There is several challenges that are coming with LLM. I'm going to start with some very generic things, and then I will go back to cardiac MR, which will allow me to answer to the question from the audience. There is now regulation, like in EU, we have the AI Act. Then there is the problem of the costs in terms of impact on the environment. The LLM is very costly to train. I'm going to quote in terms of impact on the environment, Alex De Vries, who said, a single LLM interaction may consume as much power as leaving a low brightness LED light bulb for 1 hour. So there is effort done to reduce the impact on the environment. If I move on to cardiac MR, the issue with LLM is you need a huge amount of data. And in cardiac MR, it's really difficult to access to cardiac MR, data. Currently, with our deep learning algorithm, which does not require as much data as LLM, I would say that, now answering the question from the audience, we are, most of the hospitals around the globe for cardiac MR are using Siemens. So, and in France, it's like maybe 80% of the market. So it's less than that globally, but it's already a lot. So most of our data are from Siemens, and then we are completing little by little our database with images from the other constructors. And before moving on to the next topic, I would just like to inform the audience that we have with us people representing CASIS for India, for Brazil, for France, for Germany, for Japan, for China, so, and for Latin America. Spain, and Turkey as well. Do not hesitate to contact us. Sorry.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I think there is some webinar poll that's been given to the audience. The question reads like this: what special healthcare day is being observed in the later part of this month? Let's see. You can answer this webinar poll, the attendees, please. And it shouldn't be difficult to guess because we are talking about cardiac MR. Yeah, so I think the answers are in. Everyone has got it right. It's World Heart Day that's going to be celebrated this Sunday, after this Sunday on 29th of September. We are going to celebrate World Heart Day. And somebody has mentioned World Mental Health Day. We'll excuse them. Okay, so one of the themes for this year's World Heart Day is sensitizing the political leaders about the importance of cardiac care, right? I'll probably will close with this discussion. Do you think in near future, there is a day where we will see that, like, how do we do it for breast? cancer, or do you do it for lung CT scan? Do you see cardiac MR being used for as a screening modality for heart disease? Like the patient comes in, gets a couple of minutes scan, and then we use cases solution, and they get a risk score so that they can intervene and correct it. Do you see that day coming anytime future, or is it science fiction?
So it totally makes sense to use cardiac MR because it's cover everything on the heart to screen patients. The issue is that currently cardiac MR is like 40 minutes. It's costly. So at the current stage, the answer would be no. But your question was in the future. And I can see that there is a lot of effort put by companies such as GE Healthcare, Philips, Siemens, other manufacturers to reduce the time of acquisition, to make it cheaper. So I'm pretty sure within 5 years from now, it will be possible to use cardiac MR to screen the patients.
Great to know that. So we look forward for that future. And with that, we are right on time. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Jean. We really enjoyed the conversation. We enjoyed the conversations about France, your solution, and you were transparent about your competitors. We liked it. And thank you for all of you who have attended this session. We do this session every week, same time, every Friday. Please join us for the next session. That's going to be episode 22. And if you have any further questions, feel free to post it on our LinkedIn group, Unboxing AI. Thank you. Have a nice weekend,
Thank you for
everyone.
the invitation.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.